That heifer right there just don't even care. Actually, what's up, folks? Hope everybody having a fine Sunday evening. It's been a little while. We do apologize. We wasn't doing no Sunday fellowship last week, but as many of y'all knew why. And we appreciate everybody's thoughts and prayers and condolences and everything towards Miss Jolynn and family. But glad to be back. Excited to see everybody. I've been jawing Hannah's head off all week about getting back on here and talking to friends and see what everybody's up to. We kind of been out of the loop a little bit. But like I said, hope everybody's doing good. We're just trucking along, y'all. Let me run through here and holler at some of y'all real quick. And I'll get to this in a second, but what in the world's going on with the thing? That not working, DC? Still bad, grainy, huh? Fuzzy. Uh, StreamYard was giving us fits a while ago or earlier about even trying to get. Let me try the camera. Hold on. If I can find something that'll reach over there real quick. I got myself cleaning this thing off a minute ago. Stand by. But he gave us fits earlier about trying to get on here or even set up a live. Hopefully that'll be better. No. What is going on? I tell you what. The thing's still fuzzy. I can see it on this laptop. It's still fuzzy. What in the world's going on with this thing? Try it. Is that better? Better now? It cleared up for just a second, it looked like. No, it's just like real choppy, ain't it, y'all? Make sure I ain't left this Wi-Fi or nothing on my phone to make it go crazy for some reason. No. They better get back to it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just on the cell phone. I tell you what, hey Lee, jump in the back just a second. Let me come out, come back in and see if it'll straighten back up. If you can. Can you do that? Y'all bear with me. Let's see if we can get this worked out. This has got to be something on StreamYard because I tried loading on Hannah's phone and my phone, and it kept kicking us off. Let me look back here and see if. No. Tell you what, I'm gonna put this link in because I know if I kick it out, if I kick myself out, it's gonna have to start the whole gig over. Awesome. Thank you, sir. Let's see if Leah pop up on stage. Y'all bear with her. No, they ain't even showing like. Tell you what. All right. Y'all just hold tight. I'm gonna kick myself out, come right back in. Go get some sweet tea or fill your coffee cup up real quick. We'll get back to it. Better? Maybe? Okay. Better? Okay. Y'all let me know. Thumbs up. Better? Okay. Clearer. Yes. Looks clear. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Lee, very much, Captain. Uh, but anywho, forward some technical difficulty. Y'all know that something's gonna happen. Foul. Because this one wasn't on me. I didn't push too many buttons on this. Did my normal. But he said we're still weird, but you look better. Thank you. Thanks, sir. Uh, where's that? Hope everybody's had a good week. We'll start over. We'll rummage through here and holler at some of y'all real quick now that we on track. Uh, I think old Grayson got first. Jack and Danae second there. Highland Honey, good seeing y'all. We got your message there and uh, got y'all family added to the prayer list. Uh, Mr. Mike Tangway, it's good to see you, sir. Pennsylvania, Keith Spillman up there in that fine country. Mr. Randy Tar Hill. Who else we got in here? Mr. Roy, good to see you, sir. Bill Lee, good to see you. Mr. Russell Amon, good to see you. Let's say Mike Tangway. Miss Kimberly, good to see you, ma'am. Bundy, we've got a good little crowd. Appreciate everybody dropping by, uh, hanging out with us. Mr. Dan Weaver, year before last as champ. We're going to get into that here in just a short one. Let's see. I don't want to miss any of y'all here. Y'all's patient, gracious enough to get through the technical difficulties. Barnhill, B. Barn, good to see y'all. Bundy, can't remember if I hollered at you. If not, Mr. Mike, good to see you, Captain. Lee, thank you very much, sir. DC, good to see you, brother. Who else? I'm afraid I missed one of y'all here. Pastor Larry, Miss Jan, and Miss Leona, good seeing y'all. All right. I thought I was down to the end of the list there, but I apologize, y'all. Mr. James, no, good to see you, Captain. All right. I think I down to the bottom here. Carl, good to see y'all. The two B brats with you. If y'all are, Miss Haley, Miss Hannah says hello from the back there. She I guess let's just go on and address the elephant in the room, if you will. Uh we went on a trip the other day, last weekend it was, like I say, Mississippi Tennessee line fair to celebrate our pastor that had departed, and come home, got ready for the work week, and Hannah had taken a fall Tuesday, Tuesday or Wednesday of this past week off one of the back steps, and kind of bruised her hip and her side up a little bit. And then when we got home Thursday evening, I think it was, she had another ground level fall this time, and it twisted or done something in her back there, and it's got her nerves in her back flared up, fired up. So y'all will keep a woman in your prayers that we can get over this hump in life here, get her back on her feet. But like I said, ain't been doing too much beekeeping. Y'all know our story this year is growing the bees and just kind of leaving them alone. And that we have done for the most part, except for at least once a week, once again, hitting them hard with those peppermints, keeping those beetles down for us around here. Now, I did go out earlier today and we're just kind of checking entrances and what have you, see what they was up to. And the cutout that we done about a month ago, wasn't saying nothing from them, in which we have them facing a different direction because we're trying to see if a couple directions are better for the bees, if you will, just so we're tinkering around here. So got to looking at them and I was like, well, they ain't even doing nothing. So walked around in front of them, but everybody was just hanging out on the front porch. Wasn't doing too much flying, I reckon. But that was about 2 or 3 o'clock this evening. So no, she don't, DC. Not quite like she used to. Yeah, we even had to go to the doctor on this trip, and that was a joke. But without me getting on one of my rants about doctors and hospitals. But so far, everybody's still doing well and fine out there. Good numbers. The little church house hive, they are starting to beard quite a bit, and I know we have got to get them in a 5 frame quick because they're already filling in some little area to where we couldn't put another frame in for those little girls. So everybody doing good. Or when we'll take these little girls into winter with us, and that'll be our 12 to 18 next year, splitting off these little girls if everybody makes it through. Hey Lee, don't you get no ideas in her head. She had me in there rubbing her feet and talking about I need a dishwasher. And she ain't listening. She's just doing comments for me tonight. But I ain't gotta worry about that. I'm good. But yeah, they are DC. Everybody, like I said, everybody's doing. Never mind, she heard me. Uh, but yeah, they are. Everybody's doing very well. The bunch that Mr. Russell Amon helped us out with, they're doing wonderful out there. The Swarmer guy, everybody's doing good. The only fuss I've got about any of the bees is that one doggone colony that come from Lance's. That bunch is just fussy. I'll leave it at that. But they're one of the most productive colonies out there. So we'll take it for another or till the end of this season. Next year, we're gonna calm y'all's tails down a little bit. No, well, the good thing, Mr. Dan Weaver on workman's comp claims in the state of Alabama, if you have 5 or less employees, you ain't got to worry about no workman's comp. So it's unfortunate we don't have 5 or more employees, and she couldn't turn her workman's comp in. But trust me, she she'll get it out of me one way or another. Y'all know them women. But all in all, Lord willing, I hope she'll be back on her feet pretty quick. Uh, yeah, got her that DC. She's kicked back. Uh, the only other thing now is just hopefully whatever it is in there is inflamed, or the doctor said it's probably just a nerve pinched or some soft tissue that has been bruised, or Lord willing, hopefully there wasn't a tearing of soft tissue, but that's what they seem to think it is. That's right. Yeah, we just she'll be back on her feet. The only thing I told her, I said, you gotta take it easy. You gotta take it easy. Hard hit. But let me see what I got here on beekeeping news. Uh, kind of whittling on down a little bit. It has done nothing but rain and rain and rain. The bees acted like they was in a dearth for a few days around here. Then that just kind of stopped. So, Lord willing, with the little dry spells between the rain, because it'll rain in the morning, be clear till about lunchtime, a little after lunchtime, enough to dry things out. And then we'll get them late evening showers again, kind of like it's like we're getting our spring rain in the summertime right now. But so far, like I say, everybody doing good. I'll hook her up. I'm a pro. The only thing I tell her is I'm not putting lotion on my hands to rub your foot. I don't want no lotion on my hand. So she's got to deal with the sandpaper feeling on those hands here, but I think I can hook her up. 5.5 inches of rain within the past 18 hours. Y'all sound about like us. Because, buddy, y'all, it has been little gully washers that just sit over you and then once the sun goes down, it'll kind of start dwindling out and going away. But some of them rain showers will easily get 1.5 inches, 2 inches, no problem, out of some of these things. So we feel y'all's pain there, Highland. Lord willing, nobody's getting in a bind in flood prone areas. Yeah, the only bad part though is I know many of y'all are here with us all the time, kind of thing, and we appreciate y'all. So y'all kind of know this backstory a little bit. But a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years, when Hannah got that hiatal hernia, that ended her being able to take any kind of ibuprofen as far as ingesting it. Now, a doctor can inject it through an IV or just giving somebody a shot, but the only way we figure we can get her any help on that is continuously go to a hospital. That just ain't happening. Uh, but it does help her when she can't get that inflammation down. So it's just bed rest. What I've been trying to get in her head, just get your bed rest. We get you to the regular doctor or something and go from there. But uh, I don't say their creek's about out the banks. I imagine so 5.5 inches of rain. the last few hours. I do it any place wrong. Uh, let me see. I guess we'll stay. I got a few things for derailing. There ain't no telling how quick that'll go off. But uh, before we derail too bad. Now, to the gentleman, let's see. I seen your name in here. Yes, sir. You're in here. So the other day, I got a text message from a fella, and I just gave part of that away. It was supposed to be he or she. Oops. So I'm not going to tell you who it is yet. I want y'all to guess because there's something in for one of y'all if you can guess his name first. Uh, Fella said, "Hey, look, you remember this and that?" When I was like, "Oh yeah." When I was reading his message, he was saying, "I'm gonna send y'all a little bit of this honey that I told y'all if I could get my hands on, I'd send to you. Also, I'm gonna go ahead and send my entry in for the 2025 youth. So go ahead and just put that to the side there as well, and you'll already have my entry, which would be it'd be the first entry getting in here. It's supposed to be here tomorrow, but uh, when I put the post out the other day about somebody's already getting in line here, kicking it off early. I'm surprised y'all started working on it this early, but me and Hannah we smiled about it. So please, sir, don't say nothing yet of who you are. But I want to see if somebody can guess who you are. And if I'll say the first person to guess, we're going to hook y'all up with one of Joey's flashlights, those little small string light that he sent to us. But that'll be the first person to guess. Hold on. Don't guess yet. But I just thought it was interesting. Crab in tow, huh? Okay. Uh, Now, like I say, ready and go. If somebody, it is a fella. He is in here, or he was. I'm pretty sure he's still here. But if y'all can guess, or the first one to guess who it is, we'll let you know if you're the first one to guess, and uh, we'll get one of those streamlights through Joey's account. That way, it helps Joey out. However, those dealings go. But no, it's not Lee. I'll say that in there. But he, like I say, he is in here. Uh, y'all rummage through them comments to see which name. I can't give too much away because if I give too much away, then it'd be, y'all gonna go, oh, okay, that's who it is now. It's not Dan Weaver. It's not Mr. Dan. It's not Mr. JW. Uh, Philip, how do you say that? She's in the shadows, I guess. She's not feeling well. She took a fall off the steps and all that the other day. Okay, she got you, Philip. Yeah, I grounded her. Told her no doing this, no doing that. Get some rest. So uh, not Kirk, not Keith. One of y'all was close. I'm talking about really close. That probably just gives it away right there. Wasn't Paul. No. Come on, y'all. Wasn't. Then they got it. Yep. It was Mr. Russell Amy. Sure did. So we got y'all's address. We'll get it sent on over to you. Is this going to be Jack's flashlight or Danae's flashlight? But yeah, we seen this message. It was as we was kind of uh, headed down to work, and he was texting and all that. And I told Hannah, I said, it's starting early. Whenever we get home, let me see what everybody else is going to say. And y'all, let me tell you what, the the responses was quick and good. So we're excited. It's already starting off. Mr. Russell Naiman said, I'm getting mine in first. And where it started, he had gotten his hands on some of that alfalfa honey Hannah was wanting, because he let us try some of that whenever we went over to visit. And he was telling us he was able to get a little bit, plus he's going to send his on to us as well for an entry. And then I think Keith Spillman pretty quick jumped on in and said, mine will be in the mail shortly. Don't you worry. So, pardon me, and looking like things is rocking and rolling pretty early. See if that knocks some glare off that thing. Uh, but yeah, we excited. Looking forward to all the entries. Yes. Oh, about the what? Oh, the trophy? Oh, no. Uh, okay. Y'all probably can't hear what she's saying, so I'm not going to repeat that part. But I am looking at a trophy. Hannah's approval is a 50-50 on it, but she said the only way I can tell y'all what the trophy is whenever I have the trophy in hand, just in case for some reason it doesn't work out one way or another. But things isn't working. And we know too that Randy and Miss Elizabeth will be on board with, we'll keep the tradition of, you know, getting a hat from Randy and having him sign it and all that stuff. But we want to kind of add one more little trophy, if you will, to it. But I gotta get my vision put to paper. I reckon, as I say, I'm gonna do my best to keep that secret on the judge, because that's in the workings. All right, James, I hear you. James said just throw all others in the trash. Mine will top them off. Uh, if we can get the judge that we're looking for, he's going to be on the straight and narrow. So we'll see how that goes if everything works out. Like I said, we excited. We know it's early, but y'all are ready for it undoubtedly, and we're going to encourage it. Y'all bring it on. We'll see how things go. I'm stopping, DC. I'm going to stop. Let me move on here. Whatever else we got going on, I'll put the link in. Any of y'all want to come in and chit chat? Uh, prayer list. Is that what you're telling me? Oh, okay. Oh, all right. Happy birthday, Hope. Like I said, we've been out of the loop, even on the Book of Faces. I glimpsed through that thing about one time in the last day or two, and that's about all we've seen on stuff. Trying to catch a few videos, but it's just this week was not a real good week. But before I get too far out on anything, y'all, uh, we're gonna do the prayer list. If there's anybody that we need to add to or take away from, let us know. Now, I know right off the bat, Highland Honey, y'all, if you'll add them to your prayer list, uh, they were saying there. I love the way they put this. My heart's heavy for y'all, but it's encouraging of how they put this. But said their grandbaby was sleeping when born, and we pray blessings upon your family. We know it's going to be a difficult time for everybody during this, but it's encouraging knowing that y'all will let the Lord lift y'all up during this time, and pray that He gives y'all comfort and understanding as He desires. But y'all add Highland to your list, but I'm gonna go read off everybody she's got wrote down here. We still got Mr. Mark Miller, Ed, son of one, his family, Mr. Pat, Dirt Rooster Daddy, Miss Deb, Mr. Mike Tangway's family, Mama, DC's stepdad, and DC's mama. Continue praying for the family of baby Luca, Mr. Dan Weaver and that bunch, Rachel Wilson, her sister Amanda, Philip's mama, uh, BJ and his wife with some friends of Philip's, Bobby and his family, Bobby the Bees, the Gandy family, uh, Hillbilly Earl and family, Miss Leona, Mr. Steve Amos and family, PJ Hanley, Catherine's son and his family, Sarah from Sarah's Happy Hives and her family, Mr. Randy's mother-in-law, Tar Heel Beekeeping, uh, Miss Janae Wood, let's see, Kenneth and Chris Wilkerson, Terry Bertleman, Miss Janet Redfish's wife, uh, Kenneth Allen, that's some of Phillips, that's Phillips B yard, his other yard there, that fella that owns that land, Miss Dolores, Denny Ray, Miss Brenda, Keith Laramore's wife, James Creel, Steve O, Rodney Middleton, got an unspoken, Miss Williams, Kathy Baker's friend's daughter, Stephanie Riley, Lee's cousin, continue to pray for her. Lee, you got any kind of update on her? Dan Garrison's daughter, uh, Miss Jolene, please, that's our pastor's wife there, Miss Jolene. Y'all continue to keep her. Uh, Clay Bunner's family. I hope that baby's doing well, y'all. Keith Laramore's cousin, Miss Brenda Amon. Got a text message from her 4 or 5 days ago, and she's she's finally doing a little bit better on that. So thank y'all for praying for everybody there. But Clay Bunner's friend, fella that had the open heart surgery not too long ago, Mr. Mike Berry, Lee's mama, Brad, Hogg, neighbors, anybody still dealing with those wildfires up there? I don't know if they're out or not, but if you are, we got y'all down here. Miss Brenda Johnson, Tom McAvery's, uh, his family with everything they've been dealing with. Let's see, Connie Barnhill, B. Barnes' wife, uh, Paula, Mr. Dan's sister-in-law, Lane Morse, and Highland Honey. Got you down here. So, y'all, if you will, continue to pray for everybody on here, which we know y'all are out there. And we thank every one of you for taking the time. We know folks on here do as well. But let's see. I'm kind of torn where to go because I got a all right. I got a subject, and I got to kind of give y'all this lead up to the subject because it just bear with me. Hannah and I was working the other day, and the people we're working for. This lady's got a boyfriend, undoubtedly. Y'all bear with me because we're going somewhere. Her boyfriend's kind of they're on and off again down there at the Gulf of America, if you will. Well, the other day while we was down there working, he was house sitting while we was there working. And it turned into a concert. Bro sat down, started picking the guitar, singing his little heart out, this and that. He's better than Jimmy Buffett. There was a whole bunch to it. He put himself up there with Jimmy Buffett because he works at Jimmy Buffett's sister's restaurant down there on Gulf Shores, Lulu's. Any of y'all ever been to the Gulf of America? You've probably seen Lulu's or either been to Lulu's. But old dude he was inebriated all day long. Early that morning until we left around lunchtime. Further the day went on, the more inebriated he got, and the more he picked and sang on that guitar. Well, got home and I got to watching some videos on some stuff. Now, let me say this, and I just in case, but I thought this subject was interesting yet comical in some ways, but I do want to get some good laughs out of it, and we will talk about it. But there's women and children in here, so we can still have a good laugh, but there's women and children. So I got to doing some investigating after watching a video after dealing with that guy. And got digging around, and undoubtedly our little honeybees will indulge from time to time. And I got to thinking, I had no idea the honeybees were at happy hour. So I got to fumbling around, and just for a minute, just in case anybody did not know any of this, or as more so anybody didn't, but I got to fumbling around some of the stuff and kind of just doing a few Google searches on it. And the first thing I typed in was, do honeybees get intoxicated? And just a simple Google search, it popped up. It says, yes, honeybees can get intoxicated from consuming fermented nectar or sap, which contains ethanol, the same intoxicating substance found in alcohol beverages. This occurs when yeast ferments in sugars and nectar, particularly when the nectar is a high water content. And it's just saying after rain or in humid conditions. We all know what the fermentation is of that. The yeast in there and the sugars, things ferment and it turns into adult beverage, if you will. So the bees, while collecting nectar, may inadvertently, okay, let me stress that. Our bees ain't getting out there just getting sows. just because they want to or feeling like it, that inadvertently consume fermented nectar. But it says the effects, like humans, bees can experience impaired motor functions, including difficulty flying, walking, maintaining balance. They may also exhibit erratic behavior and memory loss. Sounds like the humans. Uh, yes. My word. She tell me stop just a second. Look at Mr. Dan's comment there. Oh boy. If it ain't the law enforcement, it's our other first responders out there. Let me jot these fellas down real quick. Out in Idaho. Mm-mm-mm. You fine. Uh, Indeed it is, DC. Uh, Highland, that was one of the kind of things that, because I thought about, we've all seen the videos of the little squirrels out there that, people put throw their fruits and stuff like that out in the yard and it'll ferment out in the yard, and the little squirrels and possums and coons, anything else that runs across it, become inebriated. But then when I got to looking, I was like, the honeybees are kind of doing that as well. But just the innocence of it. And I got a couple pages open here, but it kind of gets a little in depth on what happens when they get back to the hive. Even though they're out there accidentally doing this. But I went on and tapped in and said, typed in what happens when a honeybee comes back inebriated to the hive. And once again, the Google search, it says when a honeybee gets inebriated at the hive, the guard bees at the entrance would typically recognize the bees' intoxicated state and denied entry. This is because inebriated bees are clumsy, disoriented, and can potentially contaminate the hive's honey stores with fermented nectar. The guard bees may even physically remove the bee. Sometimes, I won't get into that yet. Let me get down here. It says they can become inebriated by consuming fermented nectar and honey, which contains alcohol. The guard bees at the entrance are responsible for the colony's safety and recognize inebriated bees. They're denied entry. It says inebriated bees are unable. Y'all check this out. It says they are denied entry when inebriated bees are unable to perform the waggle dance correctly, a vital communication method for bees, and cannot reliably navigate. Guard bees will physically prevent the inebriated bee from re-entering, sometimes by, and I'll get into that in just a second. It says the consequences, they may struggle to survive on their own, facing predators and starvation. Let me get into this here. Then my last part on it, we'll get away from it, but it is a part of beekeeping. I'm not encouraging none of this, and I don't want to get the wrong idea about it. It is comical, but it is part of beekeeping too as well. But I just more so found it comical on my end, thinking, Lord have mercy. But the other one I typed in, how to tell if my bees are intoxicated. Yeah. You can tell if your honeybees are intoxicated by observing their uncoordinated movements, movements and erratic behavior, similar to humans. Alcohol affects their motor function and cognitive abilities. Here are some of the specific signs to look for. So, just in case you wondered, here's some signs. Difficulty walking, sounds familiar. Inebriated bees may struggle to move in a straight line or maintain their balance. Staggering, their movements may be sloppy and they may walk into things. Difficulty flying, they may spend less time flying, experience more flying accidents, or even be unable to fly. If they're too inebriated, now this is Google right here. It says they may lie on their back and be unable to turn themselves over. The impaired waggle dance, their communication dance, may be erratic, signaling they're inebriated. Aggression. Some bees may become more aggressive after consuming, but let me get back to there was a couple more adding up to this. Okay, what happens when they come back to the colony like this? Undoubtedly, they get punished by the colony. And says in addition to dying from potential alcohol poisoning alone, bees can also suffer a death when they are attempting to return to the hives and are often refused entry by the guard bees. A bee that gets inebriated typically dies as they are rejected by the colony and cannot return to the hive. So there was one in here that says if they continue to do this, and they're not rejected before, but if they continue to do this, then the guards will not let her in, and they will dismember her via taking the legs off or taking the wings off. So they ain't putting up with it. And just in case, we'll wrap it up with this. Just in case, if anybody's wondering how in the world to help one that is inebriated in the honeybee, says most cases, your bee will recover quickly after drinking some sugar water. Offering sugar water often works, even it appears to you as though your bee is dead. But apparently, give them a little bit of sugar water and bring their tails right on back around. But a lot of it I thought sounds very familiar to us humans as to where we get out of line sometimes and we get ourselves in trouble, get a little hot headed. The bees do the same, can't function, get into accidents, things of that nature. But the one thing, like DC saying, I did not know they would dismember one of their family members due to the act of, I can see them kicking them out. You know what I mean? I've done my family that way because they can't get themselves straight. So, but I've never thought about anything beyond that except for you need to get yourself straight. But thought that was pretty interesting. Undoubtedly, most of this happens down in, I think it was Australia. They said a lot of this will happen. And I guess something to do with the nectar and everything down there and the heat, so forth. They will. It's more common down in Australia, but I imagine it can happen here. Yeah, DC, it is. Like I said, I kind of heard about it, never really dug into it. Then me and Hannah, it was one of them. I guess he kind of had to be there for us. The way that guy was just, I guess he felt like he was serenading us or something. But um, me and Hannah had some good laughs ourselves on the way home that day from that because she was like, "Why didn't you say anything to kind of just, get him to hush up or tell him to this or that?" Because I was just feeding him even more. Oh yeah, man, you sound good, brother. Yeah, Jimmy, but he ain't got nothing on you. And on the way home, it turned into a bit of more of a, what in the world did we get into? So whenever I watched a nature video and it had that about honeybees in it, I was like, there ain't no way. So I started researching, and sure enough, why? Yep. Let me get back up here. Some of y'all's comments and see what y'all got going on in here. I don't know how long we're gonna be, y'all. Uh, let somebody decide to jump in here, or we get into there ain't no telling what else in this chat. But like I said, we hadn't watched. I tried to watch a little bit of Joey's last night, and Hannah was in bed about 6 o'clock, and I sat here, and I remember hearing the the whistle or bell for Joey coming on, and the only thing I remember is hearing his intro. And I woke up, and it was about 9 o'clock that night or last night. So, but I did catch up a little bit of it today. But I think everybody's still kind of doing pretty good. The flow's winding down for the most part, except for Keith Spillman. I think he's gotten everybody's honey this year. Uh, but it's kind of appearing that we're getting into most everybody's harvesting, or you've already harvested what you can, and it ain't gonna be long. Start working on keeping an eye on the robin. And I think some of y'all was already having some robin issues starting already. So we'll see. Thankfully, we haven't seen any signs of no robin yet, but it ain't gonna be long. We'll be getting into a dirt unless we're just gonna continue this uh, pattern of wet weather this evening. Minnesota Mike, I appreciate you. Because even, I mean, I'm all for people that's got talent stuff, but it was just like, man, I don't even know what it was like to be a hippie, but I felt like one. Being in the 70s, old bro just sitting there, Indian style, strumming on his old guitar there and this and that. And it's like, ah, all right, one or two songs was good, but all day is enough for me. But uh, all right, so Mr. Russell Koopman, y'all behind a little bit. So y'all got 3 inches of rain this week. Uh, I noticed some of y'all Minnesotians have gotten some bad weather yesterday up that way. Trying to keep up with the comments here. Bear with me. Absolutely, David. Showing up, bro. Let me get you wrote down here too. Let me see what we got for David in there. Hannah's hollering at me. She said, "We think we got y'all down here, David, but I tell you what, it ain't going to hurt to put you down again, just in case." But absolutely. Before we end this chat, we'll end it with a prayer this evening. David's granddaughter. Y'all bear with me. I'm jotting this down real quick. David and their family. Let's not know that. Okay, got you down here, y'all. Minnesota Mike saying he pulled about 80 pounds. I pulled about 80 pounds, but there might be that much. Well, Mr. Dan, after a few minutes, he played something he wrote. It started out, I was thinking, most people that I like listening to people that can play a tune on the guitar. Don't get me wrong, I enjoy that kind of stuff. Somebody that can just sit there and pick, I'm cool with it. But, it was one of them, we're at work, and one or two pickings, okay, I'm cool with that, no problem. But this dude just kept on and on and on. Then started singing as he got a little more inebriated, kind of like the honeybees, and it just kept on. And thank goodness we only had about a half a day. And whenever it got about lunchtime, we'd gone. Amen to that, DC. We can stop this whole conversation on just jawing about nothing or whether we jawing about honeybees. And absolutely pray for our brothers and sisters out there because in reality, we all still have lives. We're all still humans and we all still deal with things. And I don't want to say we try because oftentimes with every one of you that supports us here, we like to cut up. We like to have a good time. We'll talk bees in the conversation. We'll tell y'all what we got going on around here. And we're, open for everybody else sharing what they got as well. But absolutely, we are on the fellowship end. I say more of, and we can definitely take the time to be with our brothers and sisters. No problem. We can do that, DC. We'll take a moment. Absolutely. We got our brothers and sisters in here, and we'll take a minute right now. Gentlemen, if you got your hats on, if you kindly remove your hat, we'll say a word of prayer, and we'll get on to where we're going to get to beekeeping. But y'all stand by a second. Father in heaven, Lord, we thank you for another day. We do appreciate you for all your blessings that you give us. But there's many, many in here right now with heavy, heavy hearts. We ask you to be with them, lift them up, be with the families, lift them up, comfort them as you do. Lord, we have full trust. We ask you to be with these families. We love you in Jesus' name. Amen. Uh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Coming from this bunch down here in South Alabama. And everybody else, I can see y'all in the comments there too. Gotta love you and thank y'all for the support on that end. Mr. Keith Larimore, good to see you, sir. Hope y'all doing well up in the too. Has anybody seen Steve Amos in the chats lately? Hannah and I was talking about him and Blaine and Ed the other day. But we kind of know with Blaine a little bit that he was just trying to concentrate on getting his bees and everything going out there. But haven't seen old Steve Amos for a little while. Hope they're doing well. No, haven't seen Houston in a while either. We tried to reach out to Houston about a year and a half ago and never heard anything back from them. So we just kind of let things lie, if you will, and didn't want to pester anybody that didn't want to be contacted. So him and let's think about old Johnny too, Tennessee Mountain Bees. But maybe there might be a chance. I'll try to reach out to Johnny and see if we just can't get him on as a guest and see how old Johnny's doing if he's up to it. Last time we talked to him, he was doing pretty good, trying to keep his bees going out there, but haven't seen much of some of the original crew. I reckon if you want to kind of put it together, and I mean the whole group of everybody, the original crews when Bob and Lee first started out doing these live chats. Ones like Johnny in Houston. What was the dude from across the pond over there? Phil from Scotland or wherever he was from over there. Okay, good deal, DC. So Johnny's still kind of meandering around. And glancing down here before I forget this, to our members, all our members, I'm working on something for y'all on a giveaway as well. I got about 3 different things in mind, but I will let y'all choose as a group of what y'all would like the giveaway prize to be. So keep your eyes open. Hannah and I is going to talk about that a little bit more. And y'all been such a blessing becoming members. We want to do something real good for y'all on the giveaway. Because like I said, once again, I know I sound like a record player on this part, but like far as the StreamYard, y'all, the members are they are the reason we're able to they are the reason we're able to do the paid version, I guess, right now on our end. So we want to get back to y'all in a way that be encouraging, I reckon. What I'm trying to say here. Tree kangaroo. Let me get back up here and see what other than them. I think it. Yeah. Larimore. 3-finger field. I cannot remember how in the world he said his name back then. I don't know. I'm gonna mess. I ain't even gonna try it. But y'all know who I'm talking about. Yeah, and I get too. I know some folks DC reading DC's comments say, "Yeah, I miss some of the old crew at times," but at least the community is carrying on. Carrying on, they help start something that has lived out there, leading of it. Yeah, we just get to think about some of them folks from time to time. Well, we got a Texican in here. Let me get you in here, man.
What's going on?
Oh, hold on. Every time, Jeremy. All right,
How's
there we
everybody?
go.
Everybody's going looking nice, they said.
We're doing well, brother. How about you out there?
Trying to stay cool. Trying to stay cool.
Where's that? Yeah, buddy. Y'all been getting a heat wave, ain't you?
It's actually been like a cold front. It's been in the 90s. It ain't too bad.
Oh, y'all, yeah, man, y'all are good. Where's your sweaters and
Yeah,
sweatshirts at? You know what I'm saying?
for sure. Yes, sir.
Brother, just kind of glancing at things with you. Looks like you having a pretty good honey season yourself.
Yeah, it's been a little too good, I guess. A blessing, but me trying to expand and grow again, it's a lot of work, and I'm trying not to put as much time into it, but I'm kind of required to, so it ain't too bad. But been hard with my kids situation now. I get my kids a lot or on the weekends, and I'm about to get them all of July, so working bees is going to be in any free time I could kind of squeeze out of that.
But if you getting them, you know there ain't gonna be no free time with them youngins.
Oh, I know that. I know that. I'm going to respond to Dan Weaver. A little praise report too. I know we had talked about my son that had a hole in his heart when he was born. Um, he was better. He was taking medication, but just about 3 weeks ago, he got fully released. That hole cleared, or it closed on its own. When he was born, they said it wasn't if he was going to have heart surgery, it was going to be when. And they even said it's a miracle that that hole closed on its own. And I know he was on the prayer list a year and a half ago, and I appreciate everybody. So that's awesome news for us. So
Well, I imagine a weight off your shoulders on that end, bro.
they said fully healed. You don't have to go back to the cardiologist ever again. So just wanted I saw that comment, so I wanted to respond to that. And then RTX, as far as cotton honey, dry land actually looks okay here since we actually got like 8 inches of rain this year, which is normally what we get all year round. We got that in about a month and a half, which was awesome. Um, I'm extracting the rest of my mesquite honey probably the next 2 days. And then I just posted a video, but I made 10 splits. I'm going to be equalizing, running off single deeps to the cotton fields. And I start putting my bees on cotton around July 4th, and then I will harvest around Labor Day. So cotton is coming in here in West Texas. I don't know when y'all do it in Alabama. I think y'all do it. Do y'all do it later or earlier than us as far as planting cotton?
Uh,
Those.
I know cotton's usually ready about September, October. They'll start cutting it. So yeah, they plant June, July, May, June, July, something like that when they plant around here.
Yeah, I think they have to have it in the ground by the end of May, or else they don't qualify for something. You know how the farmers and the insurance and all that stuff is. But dryland that actually is looking pretty good. I mean, it's only about 8 inches high, but when I go to my irrigated fields, those will be 3 or 4 feet high. So it's a big difference from irrigated cotton from dry land, but they still got plenty of time to grow. So I'll have plenty of cotton honey as well, which is uh, thank God I've been selling honey like crazy to where I'm having to keep up and bottle, every week. I mean, I've sold over 400 pounds already. I just extracted another 500 and then have, I don't know, another 500 to pull the next couple of days. So it's a lot of work for just me, but I'm doing it. I went from 4 colonies. I'm around 33 right now. Then, fall splits, probably try to go in the winter with 50, call it good.
But you've been doing a lot of cutouts too this year, haven't you?
I've only done like 10 of them. Um, I've been passing on 4 or 5 a day. Um, Early spring, I had time to do it, but now it's just with my kids and work and stuff. It's been a little, especially the honey season. That's a priority more than actually doing a removal. Granted, it's good money, but doing the time in 100 and something degree weather, nah, I don't want to do it. So I actually passed it to some other guys that do it, and they actually pay me $20 per referral, so I get money off of you know passing on calls to them. So
Hey,
another question that people are asking is, how does cotton honey taste like? Well, we have wildflower and mesquite honey out here, but cotton is our number one seller, even for the other big honey company out here. It crystallizes in like 3 weeks, but it is almost clear, a slight tint of yellow in it, very rich. I mean, just smelling it when you're actually, working a colony on cotton fields, just the smell is just, it's refreshing. It's super good. But by the time I ship it to you, it'll probably be crystallized that quick.
oh, you gonna try to send in for the Ute again this year?
Yeah, I need to do that and some mesquite.
Okay.
I need to try
We'll
it.
be looking for it. If it does happen to crystallize, we'll get it thinned on down just right for the
Right.
show. That way we can make sure your colors is good, presentation, and everything, especially for if the judge works out that we're trying to get. Uh,
When are y'all planning on doing that?
we're going we're gonna try to just keep everything in September like we've been doing
Okay.
the last
Really?
well, yeah, the last 2 years. Will this be our third year now, yeah? But I think we'll just kind of keep it in September. That way, I know some people like to try to send a little bit of fall in for the tasting versus their spring.
Right.
And but you got your ones like Mr. Russell Amon says, I got some fine spring honey. I'm going to go ahead and send them in. So uh, I think it just kind of leaves that door open for everybody to extract a little bit if you're going to maybe have a little taste of anything for fall.
Yeah, for sure. I'll probably send mesquite and cotton if I got it. For sure mesquite, but mesquite's different. I like it. I like it, but it gives me heartburn. I don't know what it is, but it gives.
That mesquite had a good taste what you sent.
Yeah,
Was it last year or year before last? Whenever you sent that mesquite in,
yes, sir. It's different. It's different for sure, but that's what I'm actually doing. I just bottled about 50 pounds of mesquite honey and pouring another bottle into the warming bottling tank. But it's too much, man. I just came home real quick. Right now, me and my girlfriend are in the middle of, hanging out here, hanging out there, and then when I come here, I got to prepare for the work week. Then I get my kids on Tuesday for all of July, and life's been. I guess I've been trying to jump on here on some of the videos more so people could remember who I am and get my name back out there. But I was on the other beach chat the other day with Nancy, and Charlie was just like, "Oh, I see you requeened." I was like, "Yeah, had to upgrade the queen and of the house and of the hive, I guess, and doing life." That's been exciting, I guess.
but brother, it looks like you're having a good season down there and
Yes,
getting back on board because I know you had plans where you had just kind of sold everything and what was going to take another route. And uh, as plans change, we know uh, it didn't take you long to recover, not one bit, brother. You jumped right back in it and said, "Hey, we're going to take this bull by the horns and go."
that's the only way to do it, brother. That's the only way to do it. But
That's it.
again, I just want to jump on real quick. Tim, Hannah, hope y'all doing well. Everybody else that's in the chat, it's nice to start seeing, remembering everybody again. And I'm trying to get more involved, trying to post more videos and stuff. So, um, I try to make, this next month when I have my kids running around, I'm gonna be stuck at home anyway. So I'll try to jump in a lot more chats and stuff like that as well. So,
Hey, man. Hey, you just enjoy that time with them babies. We'll be here.
oh, yes, sir, for sure. But Tim, everybody else in the comments, y'all have a good one, Hannah. I'll see y'all
All right,
later.
brother. Take care, man.
Thank you.
We get to see old Jeremy, see him get back on his feet quick, fast, and hurt, like we're saying. I'm kind of jealous though a little bit because he's getting on that cotton, and we get back up here. Somebody else was mentioned a second ago. Hope was saying I put mine on cotton today in South Carolina. They didn't plant cotton this year around here. Everybody did peanuts this year. Usually it's either peanuts, soybean, or cotton. They switch them each year, and everybody went around here pretty well went with peanuts this year. So maybe next year we'll see about a little bit of that cotton down here ourselves. But it's good to see several of y'all are able to get out there and take advantage of it while you can. Lord willing, y'all get y'all a good fine harvest out of it. Now I don't know if they're getting on. I hadn't heard any prices this year on cotton, but if I remember right, one of the farmers around here was telling us the round bales were going for about $2,500 to $3,000 a round bale, something like that. But I can't remember exact weight. I think it's a little over a ton. It's in one of those round bales on it. But hopefully the cotton honey will pick up and everybody get a little revenue off the bees working it. Oh, DC, I'm glad you said that because Sarah, well, I don't know where we put them, but Hannah's got them put up somewhere. Sarah from Sarah's Happy Hives had sent us the end pieces to put in the smoker to put the smoker out. Her husband Stephen does them babies on the lake, and they sent us two of them. But where Hannah's got them put up somewhere. I got my little beekeeping basket back here that we keep y'all stuff in. But I think she walked outside for a second. I'll ask her when she comes back in soon. Yeah, DC, those plugs. Just open. There we go. All right. Yeah, she got them both, but let's see. Steven sent us or Sarah and Steven, but I'll get that out. Anyway, too much white. There we go. There's one. Even put them on some nice little chains for us to hook on to the smoker so we wouldn't lose them or wouldn't have to keep up with them. But he did two different designs on them. But we've been meaning to show them there from Sarah and Steven out there. I tell y'all thank you again. We appreciate you sending that to us. But I'm not gonna lie, y'all. We could put these babies to use and put them to work, but it's just somebody put the time in to send these puppies to us. And I guess, we could use them, I reckon, but they just too pretty to mess up, I reckon. So I think what we're going to do is add them babies to the wall or something. Maybe back here, we can't see it. There we go. The hive tool Mr. Russell Amon sent us home with whenever we went out there to visit him. And kind of get them maybe up on the wall back there. Yeah, anybody wanting, y'all, if y'all want some, holler at Sarah. They're at Sarah's Happy Hives, and uh, I'm not sure. I don't want to give away their pricing or anything, or speak for what their pricing is on stuff, but uh, I know they'd be happy to help you out and get y'all fixed up with one if you want one. Oh yeah, and the good part about it too, I mean, they like I said, that ain't no junk chain. That ain't just one of them old rickety things that your ceiling fan switch is hung on. That's a good heavy chain that they got on here, and good heavy hook. So you definitely ain't got to worry about if you get snagged on something that it'll break it. It'll snatch that smoker out your hand before you break that chain. What's say, Darren? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, you here? Uh, who else? Somebody else. Mr. Rodney Middleton, seeing you get in here. Sarah, uh, good to see you. Who else was it here? I thought I seen. Oh, Joey. Yeah, Joey. Uh, Joey, I don't know if you was in here or not, but we did a little guess who it is giveaway, and I'll be in touch with you about getting one of them stream lights sent to the winner of that, which was Jack Ordonay, and try to get that run through your account. That way you get credit on that. But uh, what else we got? All right, y'all talking about sparks, keeping sparks out of the from flying at your smoker. That's a good idea there. Philip saying, stick some green grass, twist it up, and tip of that thing, keeping sparks at bay. Yeah, especially if you're working around any kind of dry area. I don't recommend working with one in a house unless you sure enough got your fire extinguisher or something nearby. God forbid one of those sparks get into something. But yeah, that's a good idea to keep that down. Put that green grass in there. Let's see. Keith Larimore, we got two sitting here waiting on y'all. We saved you two. That's a good practice to have, DC. So I don't use my smoker unless I have running water. Now, granted, that's not available all the time, but that is a good practice to have in the event one of them rather be safe than sorry kind of situation, especially in dry season. But thankfully, right now, we're definitely, or for us here down in South Alabama, we definitely ain't in no dry season. That's for sure. That's right. I done hit you up. I forgot. You got them two you sent us pictures of. Them some fine little puppies you got too. Uh, DC, Hannah and I have put out many a fire with just a green pine limb. Whenever you ain't got no fire truck that'll reach quarter of a mile back up in the woods, you just grab you an old green pine limb and get after it, and it'll put them out pretty quick. But if you can, have a water source. That way you can be on top of it much quicker. Now I will say, I done this the other week coming back from, or it was about a month ago when we got that last little bit of equipment from old Lance over there, and I had just taken our smoker and just set it in the back of our truck, but I put it close to the tailgate, and it was kind of just barely smoking a little bit when we left from there, and we ain't but 4 miles from where we had the bees at Lance's. But let me tell y'all something. By the time we got mile 1 down, it looked like the back of that truck was fixing to go. And sure enough, by the time we got home, there were some cars following in behind us as we turned in the driveway, and everybody looking at us like we're crazy, driving real slow, because when we slowed down, the smoke just kind of bellowed out of the back of the truck. And I told Hannah, I said, them people probably going to think the basket of this doggone truck's on fire. But would have been a good time to have them old plugs there. Or I should have just put it out, I guess. But all right, Mr. Roy, take care of yourself. All right, let me see here. Mr. Dan Weaver. Darren, did you cut off the garlic gates? We will be harvesting ours right after the 4th. Mm-hmm. Thinking about frames, we probably going to try, let's see, we'll be off work Tuesday. So we get out there and do a little bit of a dive before it gets too blazing hot Tuesday. But we had waxed those foundations with the magic wax that I've been doing mad scientist work on. But that made me think about, I've forgotten all about doing it. But I'm curious to see now. It's been plenty of time to see if them bees are going to draw it out or if they're just going to completely ignore what we've done. But glad you said that there, DC. I've forgotten all about even doing that. But we did deep and medium frames. But one of them has, I do know which one's which. One of them just has lemongrass in there, and the other one has peppermint extract in the other one, just to see if they'll touch it with any of those in there. What's that, Chris? Good to see you, bud. And two, went through and seen everybody's comments. Thank y'all for watching the latest video we just done. And I know many of y'all watched it all the way through because of the comments. Some of y'all wouldn't have known if you hadn't watched it all the way through, and we appreciate y'all for doing so. But Hannah did take that sting down there, and this was a few weeks back. I think we talked about this last Sunday week whenever it was on. But Hannah did take that sting. Thank goodness she didn't have any trouble or issue out of it. But just with everything kind of going on today, we wasn't able to get back to comments or respond to comments. But we just want to tell everybody thank y'all for commenting, and we will get back to your comments. Went through and read them, but just didn't have time to respond. So that's why we just went through, and as we read them, we hearted everybody's comment, telling y'all we appreciate you on that. Well, Mr. Dan, send me a picture too, if you don't mind, sir. And especially if you can get some video of them firing anything off up there. Y'all bear with me getting y'all's comments here. No, Philip, it was just that one sting. I've finally gotten around to completely putting that video together and actually getting it posted after the dealing yesterday of going to the doctor and all that stuff. When Hannah was sitting here resting, I took a little bit of time to finish that editing or whatever you want to call it on that video and got it on out. But yeah, thankfully it's just the one time and that'll be the last time. But no issue. Oh, Rodney done 4 cutouts this weekend or this week. That man always busy with them cutouts or catching them swarms. I'm telling you. And that's what I was just thinking, Mr. Russell Koopman. Buddy, I bet you were burning up. Well, there you go, Darren. Get out there, maybe you can meet up Mr. Dan or something. I was watching that old fella, Mr. Dan. I think it was you sent me the link, or one of y'all sent me to the link to that ranger that does them tours out there. And where's that old fella from? He Central Mississippi, somewhere. He's from Mississippi out there. I can't remember the guy's name, but the one that does all the touring out there and all that. So, Lord willing, we'll be able to get up there. And Hannah, she's already seen the battlefield, but I'd love to see it myself. Oh, let's see here. Get on the list. I done went through the singing hippie, our inebriated bees for 2025 youth is officially kicked off. Bunch of rain. Uh, did I hear Mr. Mike Berry is retiring? Did I hear that right? Uh, oh, yeah, it's time. It ain't no problem, D-Ray. I didn't realize we was an hour and 34 minutes in. Uh, got my members here. Okay, he did retire. Like I said, I heard somebody made mention of it, but we just hadn't been able to catch up on anybody's videos with everything going on with church family and stuff like that this past week, and really couple weeks for us. We just kind of kept things hush per Miss Jolene's request. Well, that's wonderful to hear. He was able to retire and Lord willing be able to get out and enjoy life a little bit more. We'll say enjoy life. Not worrying about getting up and having to clock in somewhere, work all day. You can just get up and go now. I imagine. Mr. Russell. So he's been tired for a while. Now he's retired. Well, I can't wait till I can get there. But most of everybody that tells me that they retired, okay, everybody says I do more work now that I am retired than I did when I actually worked. So I don't. Where's where's the trade off? All right, we derail now. I reckon, and I'm slow. I'm quickly running out of things in my brain. But I did have one interesting little piece here, and this is for you rodeo fans out there. But it's gonna be like, Tim, what do you think about the rodeo? But Hannah's best friend, her and her boyfriend, fiance, they out there in Texas. They kind of close out there, or she was close to. Where was Leah close to? Philip, kinda. I think that toward Denton, Texas, out there is where she was. I'm sorry, Dallas. Okay, but okay, but okay. So she lived in Dallas. They're now in Oklahoma, but they have gotten into where they're doing rodeo, and undoubtedly they're kind of starting to do pretty good as far as them sponsoring the rodeo. They're the one that comes in and sets up all the round pens and does everything that you see at the rodeos, and they they get the cowboys and the cowgirls out there, and folks come do their riding and barrel racing and this and that. But uh, it's for some of you older school rodeo fans. Hannah's friend called the other morning and told us, said, you ain't gonna believe this, but we've gotten to know some Lane Frost family and friends by doing this rodeo, and they've kind of sponsored us in a little bit of a way with our rodeo business. But undoubtedly, Hannah's friend, she was just being a sweetheart, was thinking about us and said, look, they was doing a big deal about Lane Frost at one of the rodeos, and I was able to get y'all a hat with something to do with Lane Frost and rodeo and all that back then. And we thought, well, I appreciate you. Is it all right to say her name? But we just tell them we appreciate you. And uh, she said she got us the hat, and then she put her name in a raffle to win a 30-year anniversary Lane Frost poster, one of a kind, something or other, this and that. And well, lo and behold, and his friend Leah, she won the doggone poster too. Well, she told Hannah, she said, I'm sending y'all the hat and the 30-year Lane Frost anniversary one of a kind poster with the hat. I told her, I said, well, I declare we're going to have a rare piece of Lane Frost memorabilia to put up in our little mess of memorabilia between this and that. And so y'all don't be surprised, and don't know this yet, but I'm going to put that thing right Right up here somewhere. That big old poster. The way everybody enjoy it too. See how it goes. But uh, I saved that for the derailing because we pretty well close to trapping this puppy up here for too long. I still got to go close the chicken house. DC, the medium shouldn't be too bad. What do you? The is yours the 4 and the 8, like 4 deeps, 8 medium? Or what's yours, DC? Well, we won't replace the wedding photos. We'll just move them to the side right there. Put them by Yosemite, something along those lines. 9 mediums and 3 deeps. Okay. No, she's already correcting me in a gentle way. There, keep wearing more. Y'all notice those 2 smiley faces beside that? She's not really laughing and smiling about that. She's telling me, you mess with that, you better get your spot on the wall over there around the corner. Because I do have stuff where I can't put things on the wall, but it's around the corner and around the other corner over there. So when people come by, I have to show them my spot on the wall. That's all I got. She give me one spot. Because she's probably afraid, like if I do the rest of the house like I've done the little armoire deal, that I'll have insects, crawfish, the diamondback rattlesnakes, everything else that I've got throughout this house that is strategically placed. So figure your spot on the edge of the yard and what flowers you prefer. Is uh, I like pretty ones, especially if she's gonna bury me for these comments. Uh, that's a good idea, DC. I may try to talk to her about that. Turkey fryer in the kitchen. Ooh, might be able to talk her into that. Yeah, I thought I'll do that whenever she feels a little bit better. I'll save that turkey fryer one. Now look, I got one right over there. I can move over here. That one is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 or 11 point up there. The one on that wall. But I got a story behind that one. I'll save for another day. I stalked that thing and stalked that thing, and believe it or not, I reached down and grabbed that buck by the horns and just brought him home. But that's another story for another day. Yeah, I have to watch myself. But I will say, she is picking up on some things because whenever we was going to work the other day or the other morning, and the sun ain't even got up yet, it was still dark. And y'all don't kill me, especially you women. Please don't get on me too bad. But y'all that we was getting in behind a big truck trying to get onto the interstate, and it just it was dragging and dragging and dragging, getting down the road. And finally, we got onto the on ramp, was able to get onto the interstate, and I just kind of showered down on the pickup truck, if you will, and went around this cat. But y'all, we was going by, and Hannah turns and looked, and she goes, "Yep, it was a woman driving." And I was like, I just reached over and high fived her. Yes. You better, yes, you better watch out. I'll be redecorating because I got a 6 foot rattlesnake hide in that freezer in there that's been sitting in there for about 4 years. I've been meaning to get to. On top of all my other critters, I got everywhere else that I have to keep contained to one area. I've got queen bees over there. I got queen cells, honeybees with pollen on their legs, cicada killer, snake, crawfish. Crawfish, their exoskeleton after they shed. Uh, Not after the little Vietnamese woman hit them in the head with a baseball bat. So we all talk about on that. Uh, all kind of different critters. So she better watch out. I have all kind of stuff in here. That's why she really ain't turning me loose with stuff. Oh, don't worry, DC. I aggravate the snot out of but all kind of mess. I forget 90% of what I just randomly tell her going down the road on different things. And there's a lot of it I tell her. Let me try to remember that. Try to tell for folks just something to get a good laugh about because we do have some good laughs in the truck going around about different, just like day to day things, men and women drivers, uh, so on and so forth. But she's blessed to have me. I'll say that. Actually, it's more of me being blessed to have her. She said, "You're right," especially on the part about me having her. Oh, yeah. Sometimes I get myself in trouble. There was something I was telling her the other day that I had her wondering about that just, it'll come to me whenever I get off this show. But yeah, I lost the train of thought. God love you, Keith. Man said I had to suck it up with my eyesight. I had to let my wife drive. Man, I'd be praying more. I appreciate y'all's understanding, Mr. Russell. That's it, DC. And that's why I get on here, whether we talk bees or just chit chat. I just enjoy the fellowship, yeah. We get somewhere with it or we won't. It'd be, but either way, we're going to try to have some good laughs somewhere. I hope not, Mr. Dan, because she just got all of them cleaned up and put up not long ago, and I know she don't want to dirty them things up, knocking me in the noggin with it. Well, yeah, I think I'm gonna probably go on and wrap it on up here in a minute. We'll see. Got one more. Well, the way things keep going, we trying to get away from working over at that Gulf, but we got more work to do. A couple more customers called us about different things. The HOA people we're working for wants us to do some more stuff over there. And we got several customers over here in Mobile that we got to get on. But hopefully on this one particular job, tomorrow will be the end of that one. We're taking Tuesday off. Probably go back to work Wednesday through the end of the week over there. And hopefully we'll start be gradually getting back on this side of the pond, not having to drive 2 hours to work one way, which has been good. Can't complain much, but it's just that ride there and back getting old fast. That was one of our conversations on the way home the other day. It was like, you know, we can do okay as far as making money over here, but sometimes is it worth it? I reckon it is our biggest deal. Because don't get me wrong, you can make some money over there down there on that Gulf working for people, but it's the people that you run into. It's nowhere. Y'all know what I'm saying. If you're small business owners, especially if you're in construction or something like that, where you're constantly dealing with the public, and you can tell a huge difference between working with folks down there that's got money versus working with folks up here that have got money, but yet not as wealthy, I guess. They can afford to do the job, is what I'm saying. But it's just the attitude. I'm not big on hoity toity, snot nosed snobs to work for this and that. And like I told one not too long ago, I said, ain't nobody fixing to pull a paycheck over this head. I ain't studying. You know, I can go find, I'm not job poor by any means, so I don't have to come work for you kind of thing. It's just, you deal with a whole different group of people over there. They have that whole you're beneath you syndrome, and y'all know where I stand on that. And I'm not real big on that kind of stuff. So whenever they go to bumping them guns and certain things, it's just like, nah, I think you're better off finding somebody else to do this. I'm done. But she's telling me deep breath. Well, that's wonderful to hear, Larimore. I hate it for you, Captain. That's wonderful to hear. She gonna get them honeydews. It's time, Keith. It's time. Boom, 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 boom. But now, all joking aside, Captain, that's wonderful to hear. She's getting on the up and up. We sure will, Mr. Dan, and not only the firefighters in Idaho, but David Hoskins family, and y'all continue. Yeah, the Idaho firefighters there that was ambushed. David Hoskins' granddaughter having open heart surgery, and Highland Honey. Uh, that's the three that we added tonight. So, y'all, if you will, continue to say a prayer for those families, and we'll surely do it here on our end for y'all. But I think we're going to go on and wrap it up. Appreciate everybody visiting with us. And well, Tom and Melissa, y'all just got in here. We fit to go, y'all. But appreciate y'all dropping by. But yeah, continue to keep everybody in your thoughts and prayers on that end. Like I said, and there's many unspoken out there as well. So we'll sure use it. Till then, y'all, God bless you. Lord willing, we'll see y'all on the next one. Y'all take care.
Well, guess that's it for today. See you next time at Gunline Bees.